Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Devi Seshasanyavadi Akshakadishatarine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Radha Shivasri Gaura Bhakta Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Radha Shivasri Gaura Bhakta Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Bhakti Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jai Om Vishnu Bhada Paramahansa Parivajika Chaitanya Sata Sri Srimati Dandi Goswami Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Sri Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnu Bhada Paramahansa Parivajika Chaitanya Sata Sri Srimati Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasudeva Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Shri Mayapur Dham Ki Jai. Ganga Mai Ki Jai. Jamunai Ki Jai. Tulsi Maharani Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. All glories to the Assembly devotees, all glories to the Assembly devotees, all glories to the Assembly devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. So, yes, I think some
हरे कृष्णा तो आप सभी भक्तों का हार्दिक स्वागत है आज के स्मृति वर्धनम लेक्चर में। तो ये हमारा सौभाग्य है आज की हमारे बीच में यहाँ पे काफ़ी वरिष्ठ वैष्णव हैं, श्री प्रभुपाद जी के शिष्य हैं और माता जी प्रभु जी हैं पंचरत्न प्रभु, जैसे कि कहीं आप बहुत सारे लोग जानते ही हैं, और माता जी है अतितगुना माता जी। तो हम लोग गए थे मिलने, तो माता जी प्रभु जी ने यह इनविटेशन हमारा स्वीकार किया कि वो आके कुछ हमें हिंदी कम्युनिटी को कुछ एड्रेस करेंगे। तो फिर वो आज आए हैं, तो हम आइए सब मिलके उनसे श्रवण करते हैं और कुछ प्रेरणा देने का प्रयास करते हैं हमारे जीवन में। काफ़ी सालों से प्रभु जी माता जी साथ में खुशी खुशी इस्कॉन में साथ में मिलकर सेवा कर रहे हैं प्रभुपाद के मिशन में। ये सबसे बड़ा इंस्पिरेशन है हमारे लिए, हम जैसे गृहस्थों के लिए और जो आगे गृहस्थ बनने वाले हैं उनके लिए। तो पंचरत्न प्रभु 1970 में टोरंटो टेम्पल कनाडा से जुड़े थे और 1970 से 1976 तक के प्रभु जी ने टोरंटो टेम्पल में सेवा की थी, बहुत अलग अलग तरीके से। 1970 राइट, टोरंटो?
That's where I joined the temple.
And after 1976 you came to...
71 in New York and then to 76 I came here.
So 76 प्रभु जी यहाँ पे मायापुर में आए 1976 में, एंड उसके बाद में 1980s में प्रभु जी और माता जी का विवाह हुआ और 1980s के बाद से आप सोच सकते हैं आज कितने साल हो गए, 43 years चल रहे हैं। So they are serving together to Srila Prabhupada's mission. So we are very happy and we are very fortunate to hear from them. Let's welcome them through our heart from the core of the heart by chanting one time Hare Krishna Mahamantra.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
So you know about me a little bit because I have a biography on some online place, but you do not. You have to put your biography online, and everyone can.
तो आपको मेरे बारे में पता है, लेकिन आपके बारे में भी थोड़ा बायोग्राफी ऑनलाइन डालना पड़ेगा।
1976.
I joined in New Zealand in 1973,
मैंने
And then-
1973 में ज्वाइन किया,
and then I left for some time, and I joined again in 1975. It was so nice, I joined twice.
मैं बीच में मूवमेंट छोड़ दी थी और फिर बाद में 1975 में पुनः मैंने ज्वाइन किया था, तो मैं 2 बार ज्वाइन किया ये मूवमेंट।
So what happened? All the ladies in New Zealand were sent to Australia in 1976. So I went and stayed in the Melbourne Temple.
1976 में मैं न्यूजीलैंड छोड़ के मेलबर्न टेम्पल ज्वाइन की थी।
And I was doing services like helping pujaris. For example, the pujari I helped the most was Korma Prabhu, and you might have seen his cookbooks.
मैं वहाँ पर पुजारियों की मदद करती थी, कोमा प्रभु और पुजारियों की मैं मदद करती थी वहाँ पर मेलबर्न टेम्पल।
And in 1976, in April, Srila Prabhupada initiated me, and I was actually praying that he would actually personally initiate me. And I'll just tell you a quick story. What happened is that in those days, Srila Prabhupada's secretary would pick out names.
मैं 1976 में अप्रैल के 1976 में दीक्षित हुई हूँ और मैं चाहती थी कि प्रभुपाद मुझे खुद व्यक्तिगत रूप से मुझे दीक्षा दे।
Okay, so then when it was time for initiation, Srila Prabhupada looked at the name, and he said the name that was picked out was Anita. And then Srila Prabhupada said, "No, I will not call you Anita, because Anita means without a path, and Vaishnavas have a path. So I will call you Atitaguna."
So जब उस समय में लिस्ट प्रभुपाद एक लिस्ट बनाया करते थे जिसमें सभी का नाम होता था और उस सूची में से सिलेक्शन हुआ करता था प्रभुपाद जी और दीक्षा दिया करते थे। तो इनका नाम उसमें था जिसमें नाम था अनीता। तो उन्होंने बोला कि मैं ये नाम नहीं लूँगा, आपको नाम दूंगा अतीता।
And then in a darshan, he said, "If you really want to serve me nicely, distribute my books." So then I became a book distributor.
और उन्होंने कहा कि आपको पुस्तक का वितरण करना चाहिए और इसी तरह से मैं डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर बन गई और किताबें वितरण करती थी।
And then in 1978, the book distributors were able to, actually it must have been 1977, was the first time I came to Mayapur. And then what happened when I came to Mayapur, the Ganga was about half a mile away from where it is now. So I was standing under a banyan tree and thinking, how can I come back to Mayapur and live in Mayapur?
और मैं 1977 में शायद से यहाँ पर पहली बार मायापुर में आई और उस समय के वक्त उस वक्त के टाइम पे जो गंगा जो है वो आधा माइल यहाँ से दूर मतलब बहती थी मंदिर से। और मैं तभी सोचती थी कि मायापुर में वापस कैसे आऊँगी।
So I went down to the Ganga with a friend, and a mala of tulsi was floating down the river.
और मैं एक बार गंगा के तट पे गई और एक माला जो है वहाँ पर था।
And so the girl that I was with grabbed that mala.
और मैं वहाँ पर एक माला जो था वहाँ पर पकड़ ली।
And I thought, that's Krishna. And then I saw another mala. It was a little conch shell. It was a little conch shell mala. So I grabbed that, and I thought, that's Balaram.
और मैं जब माला देखी तो मुझे लगा ये कृष्णा है। और एक दूसरा माला देखा जहाँ पर शंख का वो माला था और मुझे लगा ये बलराम है।
So Gaunitai, I got Gaunitai here in Mayapur.
और मुझे गौर
So I was thinking, how can I come back to Mayapur?
और मैं इसी तरह सोचने लगी कि मैं मायापुर में वापस कैसे आऊँ, क्योंकि मुझे गौरनिताय मिला यहाँ पर कृष्ण बलराम।
So I was able to come in 1978, and I was transferred to New York Temple, because at that time I was distributing books, and I wanted to distribute a lot of books in New York. And so one Prabhu came to Australia, and one other lady and I went to New York.
और मैं 1978 में यहाँ पर आई, लेकिन फिर मुझे न्यूयॉर्क जाना पड़ा क्योंकि वहाँ पर बुक वितरण करना था मुझे। और एक दूसरी एक माता जी थी जो ऑस्ट्रेलिया से आई और जो हम साथ में वहाँ पर न्यूयॉर्क में बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूट कर रहे थे।
So I don't know if you know New York, it's a very intense place. So after 2 years, I went to London, Bhaktivedanta Manor.
तो आपको पता है कि नहीं मुझे पता नहीं, न्यूयॉर्क में जो है वहाँ पर मैं बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करती थी, वहाँ से फिर मैं लंदन गई।
So at that time I was able to meet His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj.
वहाँ पर मैं जयपताका महाराज से मिली।
He had just come to England after being in India for 10 years. He had to be in India for 10 years if he wanted Indian citizenship.
और वो 10 यूजुअली ने जयपताका महाराज 10 साल इंडिया में रह के फिर इंग्लैंड आए थे और वहाँ पर सिटीजनशिप के लिए उनको इंडिया रहना पड़ा था 10 साल के लिए।
So the first place he went was England, and I happened to meet him.
और पहला स्थान था जहाँ पर वो इंडिया छोड़ के 10 साल के बाद इंग्लैंड गए थे और मैं उनसे मिला।
I was 30 years old at the time, which is quite old to get married, but I was thinking, no, I want to get married, and I told him that, Maharaj, I want to get married.
मैं उस टाइम पे 30 साल की थी और मुझे विवाह करना था, तो मैंने महाराज को कहा कि मुझे विवाहित होना है।
And he said, okay, I've got someone for you to marry in Mayapur. So I heard 2 words, marry Mayapur, and I said, yes.
तो मैंने सुना मैं विवाह करना है, मैरिज और मायापुर, और मैंने उसके लिए हाँ कहा, स्वीकार किया।
And then I brought her to Calcutta.
Yeah. And then after a few months, or was it a couple of years, I said, Mayapur. So then we moved to the Goshala. I really liked that a lot, living at the Goshala here in Mayapur.
मायापुर के गौशाला रहने में बहुत आनंद आता था।
We had one room about the size of, say, from the edge of that door there to the edge of this column, like that. That was.
और मेरा घर जो था मायापुर में, जो घर जो है गौशाला में, वो यहाँ
maybe
से
one quarter, 1/5 of this.
ये घर का 1/3 जो है के लगभग है।
So in those days, you had to go to Mangalati, and there
You
was
always
someone.
have to go to Mangalarti.
And
Why only
someone said, oh, they went or they didn't go. Okay?
Kept track.
So what happened is in those days we didn't have the land going from the Goshala to the temple, and we used to have to go on the ridges of the rice paddies.
उस समय में मायापुर उस समय के टाइम पे मायापुर में हमेशा सब लोग मंगला आरती जाना ही था, और उस टाइम पे गौशाला से मंदिर तक रास्ता नहीं था, कोई पक्का रोड नहीं था जब इस समय अभी जैसा है, तो खेत के जो आयल रहता है वहाँ पर चल के जाना पड़ता था।
Not just Paka road, no road.
कोई रोड नहीं था, पक्का रोड कोई रोड नहीं था।
Paka road. Especially during monsoon, and when the rice fields are all flooded, and you're walking on this little but this bund.
I must say, the men loved living in Mayapur, but ladies are the backup to, like, in those days, only kerosene stoves pumping like that.
तो उस समय में जैसे कि प्रभु जी ने कहा कि रोड नहीं था, और जो बरसात के टाइम पे था तो खेत भर जाती थी और उनको चलने में बहुत ही तकलीफ होती थी गौशाला से मंदिर आने में।
For a little while we tried cooking on cow dung patties too.
I don't remember.
Yeah, it didn't work very well.
और प्रभु जी लोग को रहने में मायापुर में आनंद आता था, लेकिन स्त्रियों लोगों को, माता जी लोगों को क्योंकि चूल्हा वगैरह नहीं था तो उनको केरोसिन से पंप करके स्टोव पे खाना प्रसाद बनाना पड़ता था।
And in those days, you didn't know when the electricity was going off, but it was going off 2/3 of the time.
और बिजली भी जो है बहुत 2/3 दिन में मतलब बीच में जाती रहती थी।
No generators.
और जनरेटर्स भी नहीं रहा करते थे।
So there were the days of austerity, but austerity makes you strong.
और तपस्या के दिन थे वो, लेकिन तपस्या करने से आदमी मजबूत बनता है।
So you were asking about secrets.
तो आप पूछ रहे थे सीक्रेट के।
I would, we can think together, but looking back, looking back.
अगर पहले
For
की बात
me, now I'm talking to the men.
मैं
Alright?
पुरुषों के लिए बोल रहा हूँ,
Okay, here are the men, the grihastha men.
जो गृहस्थ लोग हैं यहाँ पर पुरुषों।
This is for the men. Anything wrong is your fault.
जो भी गलत होगा वो आपकी गलती है।
Okay, that's number one.
तो ये पहली बात है।
But I also, I mean, it was an arranged marriage, right?
ये मेरा अरेंज मैरिज था।
Atitaguna arranged.
मुझे
So,
पता है मैरिज नहीं किया था।
so what happened is that I got the money together and got a plane ticket from London to Delhi to Sydney, Australia, because I wanted to see my mother, who was quite sick.
तो मैंने पैसा एकत्रित करके लंदन से दिल्ली और फिर बाद में ऑस्ट्रेलिया, क्योंकि मेरी माँ ऑस्ट्रेलिया में रहती थी उस वक्त।
And then I was thinking, well, if I don't like him, I can always go back to England. I like England.
और मैं उस समय में सोचती थी कि मैं इंग्लैंड को बहुत चाहती हूँ, मैं इंग्लैंड जाना चाहती हूँ वापस।
So I came, and then I spent like a week in Vrindavan and went to all the wonderful holy places with Sitala Mataji, and that's Hari Sori's wife. Not then, she was a brahmacharini then. And then I decided, oh well, I'll go to Calcutta and I'll meet him.
और मैं उस वक्त दिल्ली में वृंदावन रही एक हफ्ता, और शीतला माता जी हरीश्वरी प्रभु की जो पत्नी है उनके साथ वृंदावन परिक्रमा की, और उसके बाद मैंने सोची कि कोलकाता जाती हूँ और मैं उनसे मिलूंगी।
And the first thing he did was pay his obeisances to me.
और सबसे पहला काम किया उन्होंने कि मुझे उन्होंने दंडवत किया।
So I'm like, oh, interesting.
ये बहुत ही आश्चर्यचकित चीज है।
But then he decided, okay, So one of Srila Prabhupada's godbrothers has figured out a date for the marriage.
और प्रभुपाद का जो गुरु भाई थे उन्होंने मेरे विवाह का एक दिन तय किया.
I didn't say yes or no. He just said someone has figured out the date for the marriage.
और मैंने हाँ या ना नहीं कहा, लेकिन उन्होंने मुझे कहा कि किन्होंने तो आपका विवाह का दिन तय किया है.
So then I said, well, we've got 14 days, and 10 of those days I'll be in Australia visiting my mother.
और मैं 14 दिन हो गए, उसमें से 10 दिन जो है मैं ऑस्ट्रेलिया विजिट के लिए गई थी.
So I went to Australia and visited my mother, and then I came back and he said, in 2 days we're getting married.
और 10 दिन जो है मैं ऑस्ट्रेलिया में थी और फिर 2 दिन बाकी थे, उसमें मुझे पता चला कि 2 दिन में आपका विवाह होने वाला है.
And I said, oh, wait a minute, I don't know you. And he said, no, we have to get married because all the sannyasis are coming, and they're coming especially for the marriage. So we have to get married, and after that you can leave if you like.
और फिर उन्होंने मुझे कहा कि माता जी ने कहा कि मुझे तो पता नहीं ये सब चीज़ें, तो उन्होंने प्रभु जी ने कहा कि नहीं, सन्यासी लोग आने वाले हैं और हमको विवाह करना है, तो विवाह कर लो, उसके बाद आपको जो करना है कीजिए.
But you know, I felt that I felt that whatever happened, good, however it did, it was a commitment. From the very before the marriage, I made to myself a commitment. I said, thick or thin, good, bad, whatever it is. If it's I don't know if this is the right example, but Srila Prabhupada sometimes talked about how he had someone else in mind to marry, and then his father arranged with somebody else. And so I thought, you know, whatever it is will be Krishna's arrangement, and I will stick with it. So that I think that because you have to translate.
ये मैंने जब देखा पहले तो मैंने सोचा कि ये बहुत बड़ी कमिटमेंट है, यानी कि जिम्मेदारी है और मुझे ये निभाना है. तो मैंने शुरू में सोचा कि शायद से माता जी का जो पिता है शायद और कोई लड़का सोचते होंगे, लेकिन प्रभुपाद जी ने जो सोचा है वो मेरे लिए कृष्णा का जो है अरेंजमेंट है, ये जो तैयारी है उनके लिए मेरे लिए. तो मैंने सोचा इसको निभाना है मुझे, ये जिम्मेदारी को, और इस तरह से मैंने लिया इस चीज़ को.
I mean, I did some, you know, we talked for what, maybe total of 4 hours or something like that.
शायद से मैंने 4 घंटा इनके साथ बात किया रहेगा शादी से पहले.
And it was enough though for me to see that she was devoted to Srila Prabhupada.
और मुझे लिए इतना काफ़ी था कि वो श्री प्रभुपाद की तरफ पूरा शरणागत थी.
And to Krishna consciousness.
और कृष्ण भावनामृत की तरफ शरणागत थी. ये इतना जानने के लिए मेरे काफ़ी था.
That was the same with me, because I didn't really mind who I married, but the person had to be very Krishna conscious and very philosophically fixed up.
और मुझे ये पता नहीं था कौन है व्यक्ति, लेकिन मुझे ये पता था कि ये श्री प्रभुपाद की तरफ शरणागत है और इनको फिलोसफिकली तत्व ज्ञान इनका जो है बहुत अच्छी तरह पता है इनको.
So I got married in front of Radha Madhava.
और मैं विवाह की राधा माधव के सामने इनके साथ.
And there was only one marriage after that, a week later, and then the brahmachari said, nope, no more marriages in the temple. If you want to get married, you have to get married in the Jagannath temple.
उसके बाद और एक विवाह हुआ, और उसके बाद ब्रह्मचारी लोगों ने कहा कि राधा माधव के सामने अभी कोई विवाह नहीं होएगा, अभी जिनको भी विवाह करना है वो राजापुर में जाके जगन्नाथ जी के सामने करें, यहाँ पर नहीं.
So I said, okay, I'll get married. I had the sari and Krishna Rupa and Rachitambara Mataji put my makeup on. And so there we were. getting married in front of Radha Madhav.
और राधा माधव के सामने मैं विवाह करने लगी, विवाह हुआ हमारा, और माता जी ने साड़ी दिया हमको। और
Yeah. So both Bhavananda Prabhu and Jaipatak Maharaj were both there, and then he Sarvabhavana Prabhu was the priest, Pujari priest.
सर्वभावना प्रभु वहाँ के पुजारी थे जिन्होंने विवाह करवाया, जयपताका महाराज थे उस वक्त शादी में।
And Harikesh was there.
Was he there?
Yeah, because I remember,
प्रभु भी उस वक्त थे।
because I got there early. I know brides get there late. I got there early. He got there late. So I was in a room and he was talking to Harikesh, and Harikesh said, well, I'm here to be part of your marriage. And he said, well, I better get down because I'm late. And then I thought, when he goes down, then a minute or two later I can go down.
और माता जी जो है सबसे पहले पहुंची वहाँ पर, और प्रभु जी लेट हुए, तो माता जी को याद है कि हरिकेश प्रभु भी थे वहाँ पर उस वक्त, क्योंकि प्रभु जी जो है हरिकेश प्रभु से बात कर रहे थे और बोले कि मुझे लेट हो गया, मैं आ रहा हूँ आपसे मिलने बाद में।
So if you in premarital, counseling, there's always the concept of expectations. What are the expectations?
विवाह से पहले जो है काउंसलिंग होती है, तो उसमें प्री मैरिटल जो है वो काउंसलिंग किया जाता है, जिसमें आशाएं क्या रहती है एक दूसरे व्यक्ति का, उसमें संबोधित किया जाता है इस चीज़ों को।
We never did any that premarital counseling. There wasn't anything like that.
हमारे बीच में ऐसा कुछ नहीं हुआ जो प्री मैरिटल काउंसलिंग।
But I would say is in terms of not a secret or an element of staying together, for me at least, was that I entered in with the same mood of vow and commitment that we enter in with initiation.
हमारे बीच में ऐसा किसी प्रकार का कोई गोपनीय चीज़ नहीं था, लेकिन मेरे मन में ये था कि मुझे ये जो है जिम्मेदारी के साथ इस चीज़ में लेना है, ये जिम्मेदारी को लेना है और शपथ लेना है, ये जो विवाह संस्कार है इस चीज़ का।
I think I had some fortune in my life, at least, is that all my parents and my grandparents, they all were, one marriage till death. So, whereas many people today, their parents divorce or like that. And so I had some experience in my life of that principle of marriage, commitment, till death do us part.
मैं बहुत भाग्यशाली हूँ क्योंकि मेरे खानदान में जो है, मेरे पूर्वज जो हैं, उन्होंने कभी भी शादी जो की वो अंतिम सांस तक उसने अपना वचन निभाया था एक विवाह के साथ। तो मुझे इस चीज़ का अनुभव था और मैंने ये देखा भी था। तो मैं जब इस विवाह में जब घुसा, तभी मुझे मेरे मन में यही चीज़ थी कि मुझे जिम्मेदारी लेना है और पूरा जिंदगी भर इस चीज़ को निभाना है।
But I also took the position that would be my responsibility.
और ये मेरा जिम्मेदारी होगा।
I would need to change, I would need to adjust, I would need to do anything to make sure that we could.
और मुझे ये बदलना, अगर कुछ करना है तो मुझे बदलना है और मुझे इस जिम्मेदारी को संभालना है और मुझे इस चीज़ का एडजस्टमेंट करना है जिससे ये चीज़ विवाह टिके।
And I could see that my husband put Guru, Srila Prabhupada, and Krishna first, and that was very, very important to me.
और मैं ये देखती थी कि मेरे जो पति हैं हमेशा गुरु कृष्णा को सबसे पहले प्राथमिकता रखते थे और ये चीज़ मेरे लिए बहुत ही ज़रूरी और बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट था।
And we were very regulated. We went to Mangalati every day. We chanted our rounds every day, and 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 we You know, in that way, we knew what was going on every day, what our commitment was to Guru and Krishna and each other. And in that way, I felt that was successful.
और हमारा ये शुरू से ही नियम रहा था कि हम मंगला आरती जाते थे, माला करते थे, और हमारा जो गुरु के प्रति जो भी शपथ था वो हम पूरा ठीक से निभाते थे। तो इस तरह से हमारा जो है वैवाहिक जीवन इस तरह से बीत रहा था।
And I was just going to say that in any relationship, but especially the marriage relationship, there's inevitable disagreements.
कोई भी रिश्ता हो, खासकर विवाह के इसमें, तो डिसएग्रीमेंट यानी कि जो मतभेद है ये तो रहता ही है।
You'll not see the world or different circumstances in the same way, just because, like, he's in a male mind and I'm in a female mind, and it's different, so different.
एक परिस्थिति को देखने का नजरिया अलग रहता है, जैसे कि पुरुष लोग जो हैं जो अलग तरीके से देखते हैं और स्त्री लोग जो है अलग तरीके से देखते हैं, तो मतभेद होना ही है।
So a bonding agent in the marriage is children. Having children is a wonderful way of expressing yourself and becoming a family.
तो विवाह जीवन में बच्चे जो हैं बहुत महत्वपूर्ण हैं, और बच्चे होने से पारिवारिक जीवन बनाना ये बहुत महत्वपूर्ण और बहुत अच्छा है।
Now, if you decide not to have children, or you can't have children, then you put the deities. They're your children. They become your children. That's the bonding agent.
अगर कोई सोचता है कि बच्चे नहीं करने हैं, तो हम जो हमारे डीटीज है, तो भगवान को हम बीच में रखेंगे और वही हमारे संतान है।
And in a relationship, there's different emotions that develop, and then there's a loving relationship.
कोई भी रिश्ता में जो है प्रेम जो है रखना बहुत जरूरी है, और हमारे इमोशंस जो है वो व्यक्ति उसमें एक्सप्रेस करते हैं हम प्यार से।
It's very difficult not to love someone who loves Krishna. That is something very strong.
अगर कोई कृष्णा से प्रेम करता है तो हम उनसे प्रेम करेंगे ही, ये बहुत ही अनिवार्य है।
I was very lucky when I was here in Mayapur. I was able to look after Srila Prabhupada's room and the Gauranga deity.
मैं बहुत भाग्यशाली थी कि जब मैं मायापुर में थी तो श्री प्रभुपाद का रूम का देखभाल करती थी, और उनका जो विग्रह थे उनका भी देखभाल करती थी।
Apart from your own deities at home, ladies are only allowed to dress Gauranga, not the deities on the altar.
और मेरे घर पे भी जो डीटीज रहते थे उनके छोड़ के और श्री प्रभुपाद के डीटीज को भी मैं ख्याल रखती थी।
So I was very happy doing that, and then we adopted a little boy.
और फिर हमने एक गोद लिया, हमने एक बच्चे को गोद लिया।
We adopted Puri because Puri's mother and father had died, and the family got together and said to his father's sister, "You already have 2 boys, so you can have another one."
तो एक लड़का था पूरी करके, तो उनको हमने गोद लिया, और उनके एक जो रिश्तेदार थे उनके पास 2 बच्चे थे, तो उन्होंने बोला एक आप रख लीजिए अपने पास।
And I was very attracted to him as a person, and
he was attracted to you. He came up because he was brought to the Gurukula with his cousins, and his aunt tried to pass him off as being 5 years old. He was 3.
और माता जी उनसे भी बच्चे, वो जो लड़का था वो भी माता जी से बहुत आकर्षित थी, और वो गुरुकुल में पले हुए थे, और उनके जो भाई थे उनके साथ वो गुरुकुल में पढ़े थे, तो माता जी से भी वो बहुत आकर्षित थे।
He told me that he used to come up and, "Mommy."
और वो जो लड़का था वो माता जी के पास आके बोलते थे मम्मी।
So it was
he picked
instant
you
love.
out.
It was instant love between Puri and I.
Yeah.
वो तत्कालीन उसी क्षण भर में ही उनका दोनों में बहुत प्यार आ गया।
And Babananda Prabhu said, I want you to look after him for 2 years.
भावानंद प्रभु ने कहा कि आप इनका 2 साल ख्याल रखिए।
So I presented it to my husband. Oh, let's look after him for 2 years. And he said, no, we can't do that.
और मैंने अपने पति से कहा कि हम 2 साल इस बच्चे का ख्याल रखेंगे, तो प्रभु जी ने कहा कि नहीं।
So I said, well, let's just try it for 2 years and then we'll give him back.
फिर मैंने कहा कि चलो कम से कम 2 साल इनका ख्याल रखते हैं, फिर बाद में वापस इनको लौटा देंगे।
And he said, all right, but after 2 years we give him back.
फिर प्रभु जी ने कहा कि ठीक है 2 साल करते हैं, फिर वापस इनको लौटा देंगे।
And then I took a deep breath after 2 years, and then I said, okay, I'm willing to give him back now.
तो उन्होंने गहरी सांस ली और कहा कि ठीक है मैं अभी इनको वापस लौटा दूंगी।
And he said, what do you mean? He's part of the family.
अभी हमारा परिवार का सदस्य है।
By that time I had a little girl, Gaurangi, as well.
Yes, he blessed us.
Mm.
I think so. I think that his coming into our family was the
Made us a family.
and somehow called some blessing or whatever that we could then is we've not been successful. Anyway,
तो हमारे जीवन में
I
गौरांगी
look at it like that.
गौरांगी भी थी, लेकिन ये जो बच्चा जो था हमारे पास जो है वो हमारे लिए बहुत भाग्यशाली निकला।
So a great bonding agent, as I said before, is children. So.
तो बच्चे लोग जो है हमारे दोनों में बहुत अच्छा जोड़ बनने का एक मात्र बन गया, निमित्त बन गया।
I was just going to say another thing. It's very nice to have different interests. So when Jayapataka Maharaj decided that it would be nice if we got married, there was 3 things he was looking for.
तो जब जयप्रताप महाराज ने कहा कि हम विवाह करें, तो उन्होंने कहा कि 3 जो चीज हैं जो बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण है।
It was almost like a business arrangement.
तो ये एक तरह का बिजनेस प्लानिंग था।
So the first thing was he needed someone who was shorter than him.
जो उन्होंने पहला ये था कि जो
And not too tall.
He's 5'7", I'm 5'2".
प्रभु जी 5'7" है और माता जी 5'2". तो
From
उन्होंने
American
कहा कि हाइट में
standards, I'm a
शॉर्ट
little short.
Okay. So then the other thing is that Jayapataka Maharaj wanted, he was like, oh, she's from Australia. That's a Commonwealth country. And in those days, if you were from a Commonwealth country, you didn't need to get a visa for India.
तो तभी जब जयप्रताप महाराज ने देखा कि ये ऑस्ट्रेलिया से है, तो कॉमनवेल्थ कंट्री से है, तो उस समय की बात है जब कॉमनवेल्थ के सिटीजन्स जो है इंडिया में रहने के लिए उनको कोई अलग से वीजा की जरूरत नहीं थी।
So Jayapataka Maharaj really wanted Prabhu to stay in Mayapur because he was very good at service, and he did the construction of the long building, and he said, oh, I learned construction and Bengali at the same time.
तो उस समय महाराज चाहते थे कि प्रभु जी इधर ही रहे, क्योंकि लॉन्ग बिल्डिंग जो है प्रभु जी ने ही बनाया, तो तो महाराज कहते थे कि ये बंगाली और एक कंस्ट्रक्शन दोनों ही काम मेरा हो जाएगा यहाँ पर।
So I think in a way it's very nice to have different interests, because in that way you can discuss, like what was the service you were doing
When?
when we got married?
I was in the master, well,
the master
plan,
Mayapur master plan.
Mayapur master plan, and the new temple, working with Saravi. That's what I was doing.
And I made garlands and looked after Prabhupada's room and Puri.
तो महाराज प्रभु जी ने जो है मास्टर प्लान मायापुर का जो है उन्होंने वो किया और माता जी हार वगैरह और प्रभुपाद का जो है रूप और डीटीज को विग्रह का ख्याल रखती थी और माता जी का कहना है कि दो व्यक्ति का जो अलग अलग सोच है वो भी अच्छा ही है.
So with both of our services, Krishna was in the center.
हम दोनों सेवा करते थे और भगवान हमारे कृष्ण भगवान हमारे बीच में केंद्र बिंदु थे.
And if you have a Vaishnav spouse, you can serve a devotee all day. That's your line.
तो अगर हमारा पति या पत्नी
That's why we say at weddings.
He says that at weddings.
Yeah.
It's nice when two Vaishnavas get together because in that way you can serve a Vaishnava 24 hours a day.
तो हमारा कोई पति या पत्नी वैष्णव है तो हम 24 घंटा जो है हम सेवा कर सकते हैं क्योंकि हम उनके साथ हमेशा रहते हैं.
And with children, of course, you're serving them, another Vaishnava, and you can teach them to be Krishna conscious.
और बच्चे अगर बच्चे हैं तो वो भी वैष्णव रहेंगे और हम उनको 24 घंटे हम उनके सिखा सकते हैं कि वैष्णव कैसे बनना चाहिए.
When I came to Mayapur, after a couple of years of being in Calcutta, I was asked to teach 50 little Bengali boys English.
तो मैं जब कोलकाता 2 साल रह के मायापुर आई तो 50 बच्चे थे जिनको इंग्लिश सिखाना था.
And I thought, how am I going to do that?
और मैं सोचने लगी मैं कैसे करने वाली हूँ.
And I thought, one thing that you always remember throughout your life is nursery rhymes.
और एक चीज जो है जो हमेशा जिंदगी भर याद रखना है वो नर्सरी राइम्स वो हमेशा आपको याद रखना है.
So I did know some Krishna conscious nursery rhymes, and so I taught these little boys nursery rhymes. Would you like to hear one? Would you like to know one? So, excuse my voice, but I would say, and what you do is you do it with your hands as well. Okay. So, I am a devotee of Krishna, yes indeed. Here is my tilak, here are my beads. I chant Hare Krishna the whole day through. And if you are smart, you will too. So there's quite a few songs, and even now, 50-year-old men will come up to me and say, "Oh, I remember, I'm a devotee of Krishna." Because you never forget a nursery rhyme. So if it's a Krishna conscious nursery rhyme, it's something that stays with you and is very beneficial.
तो माता जी जो बचपन में है जो बच्चों को नर्सरी राइम्स इंग्लिश में सिखाती थी तो वो अभी भी जो है 50 साल के बाद बच्चे आते हैं जो बड़े हो गए और वो बोलते हैं माता जी मैं ये चीज याद रखा हूँ.
What do you know? You know any Krishna conscious nursery rhymes? No?
Okay,
our
daughter...
You know some non-Krishna conscious nursery rhymes.
Our daughter, Nilambari, actually is doing a tape. So I would like, maybe I can give it to you. Krishna conscious nursery rhymes for children. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's something you remember all your life.
These little girls, you know some Krishna nursery rhymes, no?
So we're going to flood Mayapur with Krishna conscious nursery rhymes then.
Yeah.
Okay. He's got a better voice than me.
Blue skies, white clouds, Krishna and Balaram, follow in the Govardhan, where the cows play with Krishna and Balaram. All through the day.
The cowherd boys will
The
stay.
cowherds will.
The cowherd boys will stay.
The cowherd boys will stay
With Krishna and Balaram.
Balaram
He learnt it
all
when he
through
was
the
an
day.
adult. If he had learnt it when he was a child, he would not forget it.
Now, can you
Right?
sing?
Right?
They want to sing for you.
They would like to sing.
Yes, that's your nursery rhyme.
Yeah, they must be right.
Start.
Okay.
Start.
She will follow. Nothing you start. Nothing you start, she will follow. बोलेगी उसको याद नहीं आपको याद है ना आप स्टार्ट करो फॉलो करना है
स्टार्ट करो
चॉकलेट दिलाऊंगा दोनों को अगर जल्दी से दो चॉकलेट
बोलो
अच्छा महाप्रसाद आदत से रसगुल्ला मक्का स्टार्ट करो यू आर टेकिंग टू मच टाइम
आप बोलो चलो बोलो
वी कैन स्टार्ट
Can you do it?
They are shy.
When you.
They're shy.
When you
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was just going to talk a bit about if there's a disagreement between husband and wife.
तो मैं एक बात बताने वाली थी कि जब मतभेद होता है पति पत्नियों में
This is what I suggest, ladies.
तो मैं ये सुझाव देती हूँ माताओं के लिए
Let him win.
Teach him a lesson.
उनको शिक्षा दीजिए
दैट्स द एक्चुअल वन
Teach him a lesson what the consequences are if you don't give it.
So I was very concerned that my husband was going to be Krishna conscious, because I noticed that some marriages didn't work because either the husband or the wife wasn't Krishna conscious. But if you both, chanting your rounds and doing service and helping each other, then that's a good marriage.
तो मैं बहुत खुश थी ये देखकर कि मेरे पति जो है कृष्ण भावना भावित है तो वो माला करते हैं और भगवान का सेवा करते हैं तो ये मतभेद होने का संभावना बहुत कम है
I was very fortunate that my husband had surrendered to Srila Prabhupada and Krishna. So I would say that is the basis for a happy marriage.
मैंने देखा कि मेरे पति जो है भगवान की तरफ समर्पित थे श्री प्रभुपाद की तरफ शरणागत थे तो ये जो है मूल आधार है सुखी विवाहित जीवन का
So there was three things. He had to be tall, I had to be shorter, a Commonwealth country, and he wanted a secretary.
तो ये तीन चीज था तो एक हाइट कम होने का और दूसरा कॉमनवेल्थ था और तीसरा उनको एक सेक्रेटरी चाहिए था जय पताका महाराज को
I still can't type.
Wait, start.
Okay, start.
Okay, start.
Sit properly.
Yes.
He was the Brahmin boy who cursed King Parikshit to die by the bite of the snake. But Takshaka in sad bandage time. Shamika Rishi was sitting in his hut. Now Mr. Francis eyes are very tightly shut. King Parikshit came along and asked him for a drink, but the sage did not hear anything.
Well, you're learning Bhagavatam. Wonderful.
आप भागवतम सीख रहे हैं बहुत अच्छी चीज है
Yeah. I was reading something the other day
मैं एक बार पढ़ रहा था
that I felt has been. I've learned
नहीं ये सीखा
I didn't, I've learned by the grace of my wife showing me what I'm doing wrong.
मैं अपनी पत्नी के कृपा से सीखा ये चीज
But then it didn't come naturally, I should say. I mean,
ये चीज मुझे स्वाभाविक रूप से नहीं समझा
but I've learned something that it turns out is scientifically established
और वैज्ञानिक रूप से ये स्थापित
to
हुआ है
be very, very important in relationship.
जो ये कोई भी रिलेशन में बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है
And it's summarized, turn toward. When you're interacting, you can have 3 possible responses.
जब आप कभी भी किसी से बात करते हैं तो कोई 3 तरह का प्रतिक्रिया हो सकती है
You can turn away,
एक तो आप मुड़ सकते हैं उस व्यक्ति से
you can turn against,
और आप उनके विपरीत जा सकते हैं
or you can turn toward.
और एक तीसरा चीज है जो आप उनकी तरफ ही देख सकते हैं
So to learn to turn toward,
तो हमको उनकी तरफ देखना है
I think that's really, really essential.
और वो चीज है जो है केंद्र बिंदु है ये चीज में
And I was a brahmachari,
और मैं ब्रह्मचारी था
and for a brahmachari, we learn to turn when we see a woman. Our teaching is turn away.
ब्रह्मचारी था तो मैं हमेशा
That's what we're taught, Don't turn toward. You can turn. So 10 years of that brahmachari life, I had to kind of undo a little bit and learn to turn toward.
तो जब चूंकि मैं 10 साल से ब्रह्मचारी था तो कभी भी जो बात और किस तरह की इंटरेक्शन होती थी तो माता जी की तरफ से प्रतिक्रिया जो है विपरीत उल्टा देखना है माता जी की तरफ नहीं देखना है तो मुझे थोड़ा समय लगा इनकी तरफ देखने में और समझने में
So that's one, and I'm going to call it a secret, but it's definitely something that I know that I've had to overcome my brahmachari, turn away type of thing to turn toward.
तो ये कोई गोपनीय चीज नहीं है
That's something for everyone to practice.
ये कोई गोपनीय चीज नहीं है लेकिन मैं चूंकि मैं ब्रह्मचारी था तो मुझे समय लगा ये चीज को समझने में कि विवाह होने के बाद जो पत्नी की तरफ है हमको देखना है और समझना है
Respect is another essential element.
और इज्जत देना जो है रिस्पेक्ट देना है ये भी बहुत ही केंद्र बिंदु है इस चीज के
And if you're like me, you have to curb the tendency. We were just talking about this. Curb the tendency to correct.
और हमको जो है एक दूसरे को सुधारने का जो ये
I'm right.
हमको एक दूसरे को जो है सुधारने का जो प्रवृत्ति है ये हमको तोड़ना है और मैं ही सही हूँ ये जो है ये प्रवृत्ति हमको हटाना है
There were a few occasions also that at least in my life, that I had to make decisions. I had to adjust. I had to change. I mean, for various circumstances, you went to Australia to look after your mother as she was passing.
तो मुझे वैवाहिक जीवन में बहुत सारा एडजस्टमेंट करना पड़ा और माता जी जब अपनी मम्मी के पास गई जब बीमार थी
But my service was here in Mayapur.
लेकिन मेरा सेवा जो था वो मायापुर में था
And you were
Distributing books.
comfortable. You kind of wanted the break from Mayapur. And one of our daughters went to America. Another one went to America. Our son was in America. I was in Mayapur. You were in Australia, and another daughter was in Australia. And so I gave up my service and went. We all, just to keep us together, we all moved to America.
तो मेरा एक पहला बेटी जो था अमेरिका थी और दूसरी बेटी भी अमेरिका में थी, लड़का भी जो था वो अमेरिका गया। तो मुझे एडजस्ट करना पड़ा और मुझे खुद भी मायापुर का जो सेवा है छोड़ के अमेरिका जाना पड़ा।
So that flexibility, that you're willing to be flexible and to put the marriage and the children, because it was also our children too, to put that ahead of
हमको जो
other
प्राथमिकता है जो है अपने परिवार, बच्चे और पत्नी की तरफ रखना है और हमको फ्लेक्सिबल बनना है। प्रभु जी ये कहना चाहते हैं कि और जो परिवार को है सबसे प्राथमिक रूप में लेके चलना है।
So, yeah. I mean,
we went to lunch at someone's house, and I was asking both the husband and wife, how long have you been married? And they didn't know.
मैं एक बार खाने पर किसके पर गई और उन्होंने मुझे पूछा।
They were like,
she didn't.
no, she didn't know.
Oh, she couldn't remember.
She didn't know.
और मैंने पूछा कि आप कब तक
So they're like, maybe it was
Don't
12
forget the anniversary.
or
Ooh.
13 or 14 years. And I said, wait a minute, I was married 29th June 1980.
तो मैं
Yep. Don't forget the anniversaries. Or the birthdays.
मैं एक बार गई थी किसी पे खाने के बुलावे पे, तो मैंने उनको पूछा आप कभी विवाह किए हैं, तो उनको याद नहीं था, शायद 13 साल या 14 साल। तभी माता जी ने तुरंत कहा कि 1918 जून में 29 जून 1980 में मेरा विवाह हुआ था। तो प्रभु जी कह रहे हैं कि एनिवर्सरी और बर्थडेज ये कभी भूलना नहीं है।
I think
Actually, Srila Prabhupada's godbrother fixed the date. It was Guru Purnima in that year.
श्री प्रभुपाद के गुरु भाई ने ये विवाह निश्चय किया था, उस दिन गुरु पूर्णिमा था उस दिन।
I think another thing that we've done, I think probably has helped a lot in our marriages, we always eat together.
और दूसरा चीज जो है विवाह में हमको बहुत मदद मिला, जो हमेशा साथ में बैठ के
Sometimes I
खाई।
used to have breakfast myself, but long, anyway. But generally speaking, we would eat together.
So we were in
Some
New York.
meals,
Anyway,
meals
this is a little bit of a funny story. We were in New York, and he stays in the Brahmachari ashram, and I stay in the Brahmacharini ashram, right? So, and then, we always go to Mangalati. We're always regulated like that. That's very important, the regulation. And sometimes in the afternoon we would go for a walk and finish our rounds, or just walk and talk like that. And then one day we got on a ferry.
तो एक वक्त का बात है जब इससे पहले प्रभु जी ने कहा कि हमको जो है साथ में पति पत्नी जो है साथ में बैठ के खाना चाहिए, लंच करना चाहिए, और जो ब्रेकफास्ट है कभी कभी स्किप होता था, लेकिन लंच हमेशा साथ में करना चाहिए। माता जी कह रही है कि प्रभु जी जो हमेशा मंगला आरती अटेंड करते थे, और मैं जो है वो ब्रह्मचारी आश्रम में थे, और माता जी जो है ब्रह्मचारी आश्रम में रहती थी, और दिन के समय कभी कभी वो मिलते थे।
So we went on a ferry, and it's a double story. So we were actually, it goes up the East River in New York. You can see the Statue of Liberty. It's quite a nice ferry. So we were there, and we were talking to a lady.
तो हम लोग एक बार फेरी पे जा रहे थे जहाँ पर स्टैच्यू ऑफ लिबर्टी देख रहे थे, और एक माता से बात कर रहे थे हम लोग।
So I was telling her, actually, I'm a nun, and he's a monk.
तो मैं उनको बता रही थी कि मैं जो है ब्रह्मचारी नहीं हूँ, और मेरे प्रभु जी जो है ब्रह्मचारी है।
We get together and take prasadam. We eat together.
और हम दोनों बैठ के एक साथ खाना खाते थे।
And we walk together in the afternoons.
और हम दोपहर में जो साथ में चलते हैं फिरते हैं।
And the lady said, "Oh, you're dating."
वो माता जी बोलते थे आप दोनों क्या?
Because we got married, we didn't know each other. We got married, and now we're getting to know each other.
I'd say also another really essential thing that I think for us is there are a good number of things that we both enjoy doing, and we can enjoy doing together.
ऐसे बहुत सारी चीज़ें हैं जो हम दोनों एक साथ करते थे और हम दोनों एक साथ करने में बहुत हमको आनंद आता है.
For example, we both enjoy walking in parks,
हम दोनों एक साथ
going
मिलकर
out into nature.
हम दोनों एक साथ मिलकर नैसर्गिक वॉक करने के लिए जाते हैं, चलते फिरते हैं, जो हम दोनों को अच्छा लगता है.
We both enjoy travel to interesting places.
और बहुत ही आश्चर्यजनक और इच्छापूर्तिक जगह पर हम दोनों को जाने को अच्छा लगता है.
We both enjoy kirtans,
हम दोनों को कीर्तन बहुत अच्छा लगता है.
enjoy temple activity,
हमको मंदिर का क्रियाकलाप भी बहुत आनंद आता है.
and we enjoy the same kinds of prasadam.
और हम दोनों को सही तरह का प्रसाद भी बहुत अच्छा आनंद आता है.
That's a really important thing.
ये तो बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण चीज़ है.
Who said somebody else was like? I remember somebody was telling me, I like this, my wife likes that, and I don't like that.
और मुझे याद है मैं एक बार देखा था.
I don't remember who it was, but it was like, you know, she liked something, I don't know, whatever it was, and he liked this, and she only makes that, and I like this. We enjoy the same prasad, same kind of prasad. I think
Healthy.
that's pretty important.
By the way, healthy.
Yeah.
And as organic as possible.
And we enjoy the same places. We, you know, somehow we both love Mayapur and we both like New York. We didn't like. There was one place that we lived in that. Well, I didn't really like it either, but she hated it. And that was a
And we
disaster.
went this afternoon for lunch with the temple president of that place,
Yeah,
Dallas.
Dallas, Texas. You hated it.
Very difficult.
It was a
Very
difficult
difficult.
place.
Very
Yeah.
difficult circumstances. Anyway, we go through that and we only get stronger, right? We go through, you know, if Krishna made it easy for us all the time, then where's the challenge? You know, where's the Krishna conscious challenge? So
But, you know,
it's good to have some conflicts and
But after a
difficult.
while, we left. I mean, you know, I knew that it was not good. And for various reasons, but that's again the flexibility. But house, you know, the various things that's another thing that making nice house arrangements has been important, really important. Having good, decent places to live.
तो घर का भी जो आयोजना करना है वो भी बहुत ज़रूरी है. ये भी बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है. इससे पहले प्रभु जी बता रहे थे कि एक बार जब प्रसाद ले रहे थे तो वो बोल रहे थे कि मुझे ये पसंद नहीं, मेरे पत्नी को ये पसंद नहीं, ये अच्छा नहीं है, वो अच्छा नहीं है. लेकिन हम दोनों में ये बहुत एक कॉमन चीज़ है जो हम दोनों को प्रसाद बहुत अच्छा लगता है. और कभी कभार जैसे कि हम दोनों को मायापुर बहुत अच्छा लगता है, न्यूयॉर्क बहुत अच्छा लगता है. लेकिन एक बार की बात है जब हम जा रहे थे प्रसाद लेने के लिए आज की, तो डेलस के प्रेसिडेंट थे, लेकिन बहुत ही कठिन से हम उनके साथ जा सके. तो भगवान कभी कभी हमको इस तरह का कठिन सिचुएशन में डालते हैं जिससे हम और मजबूत बन सके. तो ये भी बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है, हमेशा अच्छा नहीं होता है. और लास्ट में प्रभु जी ने बोला कि घर का जो आयोजना है ये भी बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है विवाहित जीवन में.
Oh, I was going to say, when we first got married, Prabhu just liked to do service all the time. And I took Puri and my daughter Garangi and went all around India by myself with them.
तो शुरू में जब विवाह होता है तो हम बोलते हैं सेवा करना है, सेवा करना है. लेकिन मैं जब खुद हमारा विवाह हुआ तो मैं गौरांगी और मेरे पूरी जो मेरा लड़का था जिनको गोद दिया था, मैं पूरा इंडिया भारत का भ्रमण की.
But now Prabhu likes to travel a lot.
And well, also the other thing that I would say is that this is also, I think, very important for everyone here, is that plan for Vanaprastha. Make a plan for Vanaprastha. And we didn't really make a plan so well, but things have worked out. But that's important to make your plans, okay, and to have that goal that we're going to go through our grihastha life, get our children settled, etc., and then retire and just serve Krishna completely.
And when we go and travel, we travel and preach, which is the best thing in the Vanaprastha ashram.
Yeah.
And they want to hear your point of view because you've been in Krishna consciousness for a while and studied the books and chanted and come to a certain situation because it actually works. The program that Srila Prabhupada has mapped out for us it really works.
प्रभु जी का कहना है कि हमारा जो है और एक महत्वपूर्ण चीज़ है जो है वानप्रस्थ का प्लानिंग करना। हम विवाह करते हैं, फिर बच्चा होता है, तो उनको सेटल करने के बाद हम वानप्रस्थ जीवन कैसे बिताएंगे, ये भी प्लानिंग करना बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है। और माता जी का कहना है कि हम जब भी ये ट्रैवल करते हैं, मतलब यहाँ वहाँ जाते हैं, तो हम प्रचार भी करते हैं और हमारा प्रभुपाद जी का जो ये ज्ञान है हम उस चीज़ का लोगों को बताते हैं और ये चीज़ सच में काम करती है क्योंकि लोगों का जीवन उससे परिवर्तन होता है।
Regulation is very important, I find. If you can get up every day, the same time, go to Mangalati, chant early in the morning. This is the perfect plan that Srila Prabhupada worked out for us, and go to as much of the morning program as you can.
और श्री प्रभुपाद का जो ये नियम है, रेगुलेशन जो है, हमारा नियम पूर्वक जीवन बिताना है, उसमें मंगला आरती और सुबह का जो जपा है और जो सुबह का जो प्रोग्राम दिया है श्री प्रभुपाद ने, वो हमको एकदम नियम रूप से फॉलो करना है। ये बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट है हमारे लिए।
So we're doing it separately. We're in Mangalati separately. We're chanting in different places. I chant upstairs in the ladies' place, and with your sister, she's always there, and then we're in Guru Puj in different places. He's on the men's side, I'm on the ladies' side, and but then the rest of the day we can serve together. But we have different services, but we come together and talk and eat and.
तो हम जब मंगल आरती जाते हैं तो प्रभु जी अलग से जाते हैं, मैं अलग से जाती हूँ और तो मैं ऊपर जो है माताओं के साथ जपा करती हूँ, प्रभु जी के साथ जपा करते हैं, लेकिन दिन में जब मिलते हैं तो हम साथ में सेवा करने का प्रयत्न करते हैं।
So I hope you're all having good grihastha life.
मुझे आशा है कि आप सब लोग का अच्छा गृहस्थ जीवन बीत रहा है।
And that you're giving love and affection to each other.
आप एक दूसरे को प्यार और प्रेम दे रहे हो।
And that you're supporting each other.
आप एक दूसरे को मदद कर रहे हैं।
And ladies,
सेवाओं में मदद कर रहे हैं।
And ladies, if you don't agree, just say, okay, you're right.
And then, if you don't agree, just say, you're right.
माताएं अगर मतभेद होता है तो माताएं को बोलना है आप सही हो, और प्रभु जी बोल रहे हैं कि अगर पार्टनर जो गलत को सही बोल रहे हैं तो आप सही हो, ऐसे बोलना है। अगर मतभेद होता है तो सभी लोग सही है।
Yeah, the Prabhupada talks about arguments between husband and wife, like the butting of the goats.
तो प्रभुपाद कहते हैं कि जो पति पत्नी में जो बहस होती है वो बकरी की तरह
or the deer, right? We were
बकरी का
there.
डिरियाना होता है।
We went to see the deer the other day, and the male deer, right? They had big horns, and we were feeding, and the the other one was like, get out of here. But they just,
Playing.
So it's like that.
You can take your daughters. It's very nice to go and feed the deer. It's in a
that's
temple
Jal
in
Mandir.
Navadvip. You know that one? Jal
Jal
Mandir
Mandir is
in Navadvip.
Saraswat Godimat.
Hmm.
Opposite.
Nice situation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of nice. It's nice now. In April, I wonder because there's not many trees there. I hope they put some nice shade for those deer. They can be hot. So, may Sri Radha Madhava, Ashtashakti, Shri Pancharatna, Shri Nrsimhadev, Guranga Mahaprabhu, Shri Prabhupada, may they all bless all of you to have successful Grihastha life and successful Vanaprastha life and successful entry into Goloka life, where we again become children.
He was talking about that today. When we hear about Krishna, what do we hear about? Krishna and the cowherd boys and the little calves and the young gopis. We're all like children there. It's like children.
Yeah, we basically, our aspiration is to become children again.
हमारा ये आशा है कि हम वापस पुनः तरीके से गोलोक वृंदावन में बच्चे बन पाए। आज ही मैंने माता जी कह रहे कि आज ही हमने बात कर रहे थे कि हम जो है गोलोक वृंदावन में सब गोपा गोपी जो है बच्चे हैं, तो हमको पुनः बच्चे बनना है।
So now we can take care of these children that we have
लेकिन इस वक्त जो है हमारे बच्चे उनका ख्याल करें।
And learn from them. Learn simplicity.
और उनसे
Learn
सरलता सीख
to
सकें।
be in the moment.
और वर्तमान में सरलता के साथ वर्तमान में कैसे रहना है, ये बच्चों से हमको सीखना चाहिए।
And learn to cry.
और हमको रोना सीखना चाहिए।
Not for what we want, but cry for service. And to chant in the mood of a child. Cry. Not for relief of pain, but crying to be with Krishna.
और हमको रोने के लिए रोना सीखना चाहिए बच्चों से।
To have his embrace.
स्वार्थ के लिए नहीं, बल्कि सेवाओं के लिए और उनकी से आलिंगन करने के लिए।
In his name.
उनके नाम के साथ।
So much can be learned in Grihastha life.
इतना कुछ सीखा जा सकता है गृहस्थ लाइफ में।
How to serve.
सेवा कैसे करना चाहिए, प्रेम से।
How to develop love without expectation.
बिना आशाओं का कैसे सेवा किया जाए।
With our children and with our spouse.
हमारे बच्चों के साथ और हमारे पति पत्नियों के साथ।
So, I hope that's okay. Questions and answers. Let's see. Yeah, if you have some questions or comments, or let's hear your secrets. What you've learned.
I have one question for both of you. It is often told to us that we should depend on the mercy of Krishna for whatever we do in our life. And as a grihastha, we should perspire ourselves for finances to get the finances for our family. So, where we should draw the line, between when we have to decide that we have to be dependent on the mercy of Krishna and we have to perspire for the finances, or we have to run around to earn the finances. So, how we can join this, puzzle together?
I heard one saying that we should pray because it all depends on Krishna.
हमको इस तरह से प्रार्थना करना चाहिए कि सब कुछ भगवान पे निर्भर है,
But we should work as it all depends on us.
लेकिन काम इस तरह से करना चाहिए कि सब कुछ हम पर निर्भर है।
So both are there.
तो दोनों ही चीजें,
Simultaneously, we put all our effort, we work, but at the same time we pray.
तो हमको इस तरह से मेहनत भी करना चाहिए और प्रार्थना भी करना चाहिए।
And we remember while as we're working, that ultimately we aren't really doing anything. Krishna is doing, we're simply giving our energy. Whatever energy we are jivas, we all have our own energy. Like Krishna is full energetic. We tiny little jivas, we have some energy. That energy that we have to push in to our work, but knowing that Krishna is controlling.
तो हमको इस तरह से काम का मेहनत करना चाहिए कि कृष्णा करता है, लेकिन हमारा जो एनर्जी है, हमारा जो शक्ति है, हमको इस तरह से नियम कंट्रोल करना, एफर्ट पुट करना चाहिए कि भगवान करता है, लेकिन हमारा अपना कर्तव्य जो है वो करते रहना चाहिए।
And then part of your question, I think, is when is it over endeavor? Because we're also told we should be satisfied. So that's again a matter of intelligence and discrimination. It's not a formula yet. I know each situation will be different. I can't give you any formula. But if there's a formula, the formula is, for me at least, is really, do I really need this? Just trying to really understand deeply, being detached. I guess that's the principal ingredient to being able to understand your path, is to be detached. Not to think that, to be willing to change, to be willing to be open to adjusting and changing, not to be attached to what you planned. I think that's a key element to be able to navigate this. Okay, I have to maintain my family, I have to take care of them. Should I do this or should I do that? And being open. Krishna says he gives intelligence. I don't have a formula. There's a lot of trial and error, right? Marriage is also a lot of trial and error. A lot of, well, that didn't work. Okay. I better try something different.
तो प्रभु जी का कहना है कि कोई एक पर्टिकुलर फार्मूला नहीं है इस चीज़ के लिए, लेकिन जो मेहनत है वो उसके लिए जो प्रश्न है, प्रभु जी कह रहे हैं उसके लिए कोई फार्मूला नहीं, हमको फ्लेक्सिबल बनना पड़ता है और हमको विरक्ति लाना है और हमको केस टू केस जो है ये डिपेंड करता है कि क्या करना पड़ेगा, लेकिन विरक्ति जो है ये बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है इस चीज़ में।
Any other comments, questions, secrets? All the kids are here. They just showed up because there's prasada. Is that right?
They have a small performance.
They have a performance.
Question.
Yeah.
My question. And Mataji, you said that when you were getting married, that time His Holiness Jaipataka Maharaj, he noticed three
I can't hear
things.
properly.
One second.
You loudly.
When you were getting married, that time His Holiness Jaipataka Swami Maharaj, he noticed three things before marriage. So would you like to give some suggestions for the person who are going to get married?
Those are very specific, though.
They were very almost like business-like arrangements. The height,
Commonwealth citizen. So I
Commonwealth
think,
citizen,
yeah. That
and
didn't
secretary.
So
Yeah, that didn't work. In 1984, Indira Gandhi got shot, and I was in Australia actually. And then they said, oh, if you want to go back to India, you have to get a visa now.
So those three things were not. The height was that worked out.
But we have a 5'8" daughter. We have a very
Yeah.
tall daughter.
And a grandchild is like huge.
Mataji, another part of her question was that she is not married, she is
Yes.
about to get married. So
Ah.
would you like to suggest something like you signs to see before marriage in a person? Pre-marriage advice.
Just see how Krishna conscious they are, really, and how dedicated they are to their guru. That they're not into themselves so much. They want to serve and Krishna and Guru. That they're like that. That's what I feel. Congratulations too. I can do your compatibility.
Yeah, there was in those days that we didn't have compatibility either. We didn't do
Because he, what happened with Prabhu, he was always serving Mayapur, and I had service to do, but in 1991, I went to Mumbai. We went to Mumbai in January, and the first, a friend there said, this is the first year that the Indian Astrological Society is accepting women, and it's the first year they're teaching in English. So I thought Krishna's opened that door for me. I should become an astrologer. So that's what I decided to do. And so Prabhu's at his computer and I'm at mine. So just trying to help the devotees.
That's a long secret. Yeah.
Very nice. Beautiful.
Question. Yeah. One more.
Mataji made a very beautiful point that we have to see how Krishna conscious a person is before marriage.
Yeah.
But the irony today is that we look for the heavy package or the heavy pocket of the person rather than seeing how Krishna conscious he is. So is that the reason why the devotees are breaking nowadays?
Because people are looking for the
heavy
material,
package.
material side. Yeah, that's.
Even among devotees.
That will always, the material side will always give you distress.
Yeah.
The Krishna conscious side will always make you happy. Really.
Yeah, I think to base a marriage around the material, that's not going to. Krishna consciousness, that's the essence. Everything else,
Temporary.
yeah, there'll be ups and downs, and you can, who knows, karma, this and that. But,
Praying.
Krishna,
Praying.
yeah, Krishna in the center. That's what everyone, right? Anytime you go to a marriage and so on, right? What does anyone say? And they asked somebody to speak, and so keep Krishna in the center, and then everything will be okay. So that's the thing.
And you don't keep Krishna in the center, and then you're thinking about yourself, and then the other person's thinking about themselves, and then
And then you're also
distress.
thinking, okay, maybe without, and it's Krishna in the center now, but it's especially Krishna in the center ahead, because marriage, okay, we can make it last. That's good. Eventually we're going to die. Where do we go? So, trying to focus on making our life in this world most comfortable, and those arrangements, they're going to be temporary. So we should focus our Grihastha life and arranging our Grihastha life and Vanaprastha life, and so all our life should be focused on our ultimate goal. And that's why you're here, right? All of you. That's why you've come to live here in Mayapur, so that you can do that. And that's a great thing, especially for your children. What do you think? Yes. So you have a play? What do you do?
Performance.
Going to do a play?
Yeah, they have a performance. Are they going to sing a song? Or what?
They'll be reciting some shlokas.
All right, shlokas time. All right, let's hear. Where do you all go to school?
Smith.
Schmishies.
सामने देखो बोलना स्टार्ट
श्री भगवान उवाच अहं सर्वस्य प्रभवो मत्ता सर्वं प्रवर्तते इति मत्वा भजन्ते मां बुधा भावा समश्रिता मच्चिता मद्गता प्राणा मोहयन्ता परस्परं कथयन्तश्च मां नित्यं तुष्यं विचारमन्ति च तेषां सततयुक्तानां भजतां प्रीतिपूर्वकं ददामि बुद्धियोगं तं येन मामुपयान्ति ते तेषामेवानुकम्पार्थम् अहम् अज्ञानजं तमः नाशयामि आत्मभावस्तु ज्ञानदीपेन भास्वता.
So you remember this?
Krishna prema pradam prabhu Padmavati sudha Sriman Sachidananda purvaja Bhavurnato jagatrata Ragna Gaura Kalevaram Chaitanya Krishna Chaitanya Gauranga Vijanayaka Yakinam Dandinam Shaiva Yasinam Shiromani Raktavaradhara Sriman Navadvipa Sudhakara Prema Bhakti Pradashaiva Shri Sachidandanastata Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Did Did you learn that in school?
No.
No?
You practiced here.
Practiced here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
She is the teacher for our children program. Like every Sunday we do this program here. So all the parents they bring their children and they put for children program upside. So she is the Tushti Mataji and she trained them. We are trying so a little bit.
Good. Well, you know, they think about if you learn these shlokas, then they'll keep coming in your mind. Krishna will keep coming, appearing in your mind. You're just doing something and so on. Otherwise, what will come in the mind? Something else. But now, by learning these shlokas, then these shlokas will pop up.
Like nursery rhymes, you'll remember them
Yeah.
your whole life.
Keep going, keep learning them. It's very important. This is smaranam, you know? Smaranam. So I learned this just recently, actually, because I didn't really think about it. But Devotee was speaking in a retreat and talking about smaranam, practical smaranam. Because often we think of smaranam as something that's sort of part of, you know, some advanced stage of bhakti where we're sort of remembering the pastimes of Krishna and meditating on them and so on, which is a form of smarana. But memorizing verses is also smarana. It's memory, it's remembering. So it's practical. We may not be able to just automatically, you know, remember the Leela of Krishna, but we can learn verses, and those verses will come to us. So it's very, very important. Good. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. तो सभी लोग को अच्छा लगा आज का, जिन्हें भी जितना भी समझ में आया हो। और मेरे लिए तो मैं एक पॉइंट शेयर करना चाहूँगा, जैसे कि मुझे द बुलेट पॉइंट ऑफ द लेक्चर मुझे जो लगा वो यह था कि टर्निंग टुवर्ड्स। अगर आपको याद होगा, जैसे प्रभु जी बता रहे थे कि अगर कुछ इंटरेक्शन होता है या फिर कुछ अनबन हो जाती है हस्बैंड एंड वाइफ में, तो तीन चीज़ें होती है। या तो आप टर्निंग अवे हो जाते हैं, जैसे ब्रह्मचर्य आश्रम में हमें ट्रेनिंग दिया जाता था कि माता जी को देखें यानी कि टर्निंग अवे। फिर दूसरा बताया कि गुस्से से देख लेना, हेट्रेड, एनवियस। और फिर तीसरा बताया टर्निंग टुवर्ड्स। तो ये हमें सीखना होगा हमारे जीवन में। ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा कुछ गृहस्थ हैं, मैं जानता हूँ कि वो ये काफ़ी अच्छे से प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हैं, और मेरे जैसे कुछ लोग स्ट्रगल कर रहे हैं। So
I didn't mention, by the way, the scientific study that I was talking about, just to support that.
Yeah.
So there was there's a researcher in America. So they had many couples who were in their early days of marriage. And they recorded their interactions. They brought them into some room like this, you know, kind of just hanging out with each other and so on, and just talking, etc. And they, without them knowing, they were watching everything from behind some, you know, two-way mirror or something, and they were noting how these couples were interacting, right? And then maybe 10 years later, they said, okay, how did they do? And they noted that those couples, in their interaction, when they were, you know, giving attention, actually giving their attention to each other, they were together. And the ones who were kind of, you know, sort of in their own worlds. They didn't. So it was silence. But it's a fact. I mean, if you don't give attention, then what can you expect? Attention, respect, love, affection.
तो ये फॉर्मूला याद रखिए, अटेंशन, रिस्पेक्ट, लव, अफेक्शन, है ना? तो हमारे लिए काफ़ी अच्छा है। और आप देख सकते हैं पर्सनली प्रभु जी और माता जी जिस प्रकार से आई टू आई कांटेक्ट, जो इतना लविंग आई टू आई कांटेक्ट इतने सालों के बाद में भी अगर है, तो आप समझ सकते हैं कि कितना घना संबंध होगा उनके बीच में। सिर्फ प्रभुपाद के प्रति कितना समर्पण है दोनों का एक दूसरे के साथ में, और किस प्रकार से वो एक प्रैक्टिकल लाइफ जी रहे हैं आज श्री राम मायापुर में। भैया हम सब धन्यवाद देंगे एक बार फिर से उन्हें कि यहाँ पर आकर हमें संबोधित करने के लिए, और इसी प्रकार से आते रहेंगे तो अच्छा है। धीरे धीरे हम बुलाएंगे उन्हें बार बार। तो ये हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र बोल के उन्हें धन्यवाद देने का प्रयास करेंगे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। पंचरत्न प्रभु की जय, अतितगुणा माता जी की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.